I've been putting this off for a bit, but it's been requested. This video is going to be on my build and why I have what I have. This is not a speedrun build. This build is a battle of attrition build. It's meant to outlast monsters. It's basically a tank for days. A lot of defense, a lot of recovery. As you can see, I haven't eaten yet, so the numbers that you're going to see are without meal buffs. Base defense 1081, base attack is 1669. No negatives on the elemental defenses. That's due to max defense boost, which you'll see later. Anything under 1000 defense I probably won't bother with. The way I play hammer is I'm in the monster's face, getting hit hard, getting hit often. 1000 defense is basically the benchmark. If I can't get it above that, the build is not going to work for me. I've been using this one build for quite a while now. I've modified and switched around the gems here and there sometimes, but basically this is what I'm using. First, as far as the palico goes, I like to run flash fly cages because the shot traps and the boom bug traps tend to immobilize monsters, and for me, smacking face is much easier when the monster can't move. I have the flower bud wand looking weapon on him. It's the highest attacking paralysis weapon that I could find. Again, paralysis, immobilization equals free hits for me. As you can see, the hammer, it's the Savajiva hammer, the blast variant, because blast seems to trigger more now after the latest update with the Savajiva addition to the game. Let's take a look at the weapon. As you can see, I've augmented it with a health regen, and the rest I just dumped into defense increase. The health regen, it works pretty well with hammers. The harder you hit, the more health you get back, and with hammers you should be hitting insanely hard, so the health, it tends to get back in chunks. I've awakened the weapon with 4 attack increases. I've seen a lot of these weapons get all attack increases, but for me, I've used the Ruin or Nurg hammer for so long before this one came that I'm just used to a whole bunch of white sharpness. That's why I put the sharpness 6. I'm not too concerned about the lack of purple there. The way I play, like, I don't mind smacking face and then sharpening when a monster runs away. That's fine. I'd rather have the extra attack to make up for the lack of attack in my slots. With the armor, a lot of this build is because of the armor. I use the Gold Rathian Divine Blessing Secret. What this does, it lets the Divine Blessing proc much more often, which for me, getting hit every few seconds, it's quite useful. I went with the helmet and the chest piece for the 2-piece set bonus, mainly because I'm gonna proc for, or slot for health boost anyways, and Divine Blessing just helps me finish that off. I only need 2 for the set bonus, so these are the 2 that I picked. The other set bonus I'm using is Valhazak's. This set bonus I've used for a while, ever since the first Valhazak in the base game. I went with the gloves and the coil here. The gloves for add-on to recovery up, which helps the set bonus work better. You get health back faster, and with the set bonus, you're constantly getting health back. Speed eating is something that I always use now. I hate trying to like heal or use drugs or something and they take 5 seconds to finish. With speed eating, it just like instant. For the gloves, not the gloves, the boots, most people use the Garuga grease, which is absolutely warranted. But for me and my hammer and the way I play, I went with the Ishvalda boots. Part breaker on hammer is just a given at this point. You're spending time at the head area and you want it broken, bring a hammer and it should get broken. The defense boost, I went for this so I wouldn't have to slot for it. I always use the defense charm. Most people will say that it's a basic charm that you could do so much other things there. Agitator, critical eye, crit boost, whatever you want to say. A max defense boost charm gives you 5 slots of it. Like if you go with the agitator, it's 4. Weakness exploit is 2. Like you get so much out of a max defense boost charm that it's kind of hard for my playstyle to not use. I only have to slot for the other 2, and thanks to the max defense boost, I have no negative elemental affinity in my defenses. Basically, I'm a walking tank, which is what I need it to be. Let's look at the slots. As you can see, a lot of divine blessing here. There's a speed eating. The weakness exploit with a hammer, if done right, it's pretty good. I usually start a fight off by either walling the monster or getting a wound off on the head. And subsequential hits on the head once it's wounded with weakness exploit maxed, it's 50% extra affinity. Now, I'm not a affinity person, I don't really build for it, but if it's there, why not take advantage of it? Slider, the affinity sliding, if you're not using that with a hammer, you are wasting damage. That slide spin, especially if you have like a fully charged hammer that's been charged 3 times, it does so much. You should also be ledge hopping quite a bit. I put my airborne gem on the glider mantle. I usually forget to put the mantle on, so admittedly I am losing damage there, but I still do quite a bit with the normal ledge hop, and if I get a head hit, the monster's usually going on the ground. As far as the entire set, you can see recovery speed and recovery up again for the Hazak bonus, max defense boost, max part breaker and speed eating. I've tried to run without max health boost before, like once I've gotten used to it, and it just doesn't work for me anymore. My playstyle tends to get beat up quite a bit, so I need as much health boost as I can get. I would like more slugger at the bottom there, but with a hammer, monsters are usually going to fall on the ground anyway, so you don't really need it, but it's basically a icing on the cake type of thing. I would like more. I'd like some agitator and stuff, but it just doesn't lend itself to my slotting spots. All of the gem slots I've used fully. I've seen a lot of builds that you have a 4 slot spot and they only use a level 2 in it, and that's just wasteful. With this setup, you use all of your available slotting, which you should be trying to do all the time. Even if you don't necessarily need something with a 4 slot, what's one more perk? You're kind of wasting abilities and skills if you don't. I try to have them be useful, of course, but like for the Slugger Divine Blessing here, out of all of my protection combo jewels, like Slugger was the most appealing to me, so that's why Slugger is here. Make use of your slots. I see so many people that have like even like a level 2 slot and they only have a level 1 jewel in it. Like, use your slots. Use your slots. As far as my layered armor, I try to go with the most big and bulky looking thing I could find. So that is what this is. Again, the Palico, I go for monster immobilization. The flashfly cages work wonders, honestly. The shock traps paralyze. More times than not, the boom bug traps that he drops, they make a monster stagger, if not fall on the ground. The flash bugs, you know, if you're fighting something that's flying, kind of a hammer's weakness, you know, those things come in extremely handy. Get it on the ground, punch it in the face a couple times. This wand is not the best as far as, you know, attacking numbers go, but that paralysis that it does, so many times has a monster been coming for my life and it gets smacked with this thing and just stops in its tracks, giving me time to reposition and get back in the fight. So there's this absolute second they make a new paralysis weapon for the Palicos, I will use it, but that's the best one that they have for now. I'm gonna do a fight. I'm not sure what I'm gonna fight, but just to show what the build does, and I'll try to get hit some. It usually happens anyway, but I'll try to show like me taking damage and how fast I get my health back. Again, not sure what I'm gonna fight. I might see what investigations I have or something. But yeah, that's it. Questions, just ask. Enjoy me beating up a monster.